Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of The Points of Articulation. I'm your host Dave, and if you're new to the channel, welcome everybody. Today I'm looking at the Hot Wheels Star Wars Ghost, released in 2016. This ship was first seen in Star Wars Rebels. However, it did make some other cameos in live-action films, such as Rogue One, and in the final battle of The Rise of Skywalker. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with this ship, it is from Star Wars Rebels, and it acted as their home, their base, if you will. Now, this particular ship's name is the Modified VCX-100 Light Freighter, and it is awesome. It reminds me very much of a World War II bomber. You have turrets all over this thing, similar to the Millennium Falcon, and you even have an auxiliary craft in the aft section back here, which we'll look at in a couple moments. This thing is awesome. It has a lot of cargo room, living space for its crew, and it has a lot of heart to it. And I know that sounds weird because it's just a ship, but when you watch the show, this thing is awesome, and it's got such an interesting design as well. It's one of my favorites. So for this particular Hot Wheels interpretation of this ship, it comes in at a length of 3 inches long, which is pretty good for the line. So we do have a lot to cover today. We're going to take a look at the mold, the paint, put it back on the stand compared to some other vessels, and then we'll be done. So let's get moving. Alright, let's get this review started looking at the mold. Like in all my videos, I will go over all the major sections of the vessel, and then we'll get a nice close-up look to see those fine details. So, let's begin in the front. We have our nose turret, and right here is the, I guess we could call it the nose turret command seat. That's this big bubble right here. On the sides, we have our floodlights or headlights, our cockpit right there. Moving on back, we have our dorsal laser turret, looking good, not painted, but the mold's nice. Coming back here, we have our auxiliary craft. Not really molded too well, but it's there. That is the Phantom. We have our engines, looking good. On the bottom of the craft, we have our landing gear, main entryway right here. This section right here, where it kind of goes in, is a cargo area. In the show, they would hit a magnetic field or force field, and it would suck the stuff in there, and that's pretty awesome. I like that quite a bit. We have 2 rivets holding it together, connector port for the stand, and copyright crap. Some nice line work, and then on these sides, we have our docking rings, which look very good. Nice. Now, one thing they are leaving out is on the auxiliary craft, there should be a turret, and the actual craft itself docks from the aft section in. So, the way this is set up, it looks like the engines are facing out. So, maybe they were going off of a concept art or something like that, but it should have 2 giant laser cannons sticking out the back, and a turret. But besides that, I really dig this vessel. I think it's very cool. So now let's get a closer look. And now having a closer look, we'll begin with the bottom of the craft. We can see some great detailing in the front. Our turret, which should be 2 barrels, but they molded it as 1, which isn't an issue because of the size. Moving back, we have our landing gear, looking good, copyright crap. 2 rivets, peg port for the stand, and some beautiful molding. Like I said, this is usually like an outside cargo hold, and it's molded pretty well. We have some great detail in here. Fantastic stuff. It's nice and recessed as well. We have some detailing on the sides and line work, looking good. That's for both sides. I think that came out great. Very nice. I love all the paneling and line work and raised panels. That's pretty awesome. I think they did a great job with this. Sick. Now in the front here, this right here above my finger should be a door, the main entryway into the ship. So that's kind of cool. At least they put that little rectangle to represent that. On the sides, we have some great line work. You can see where the plastic meets the metal die cast on the side. They tried to match the paint well, and I think it gets the job done. Beautiful molding leading up to the docking ring. Looking good. Nothing is flat on here. Just a great job. I love this ship. I love the design. It's simplistic, but it works. You can see all the angles and panel lines here as well. Let me turn it for you. Pretty cool. I love all the detailing right under this section as well. Fantastic stuff. Pretty nice. Just love this stuff. This is great. And then we have our engine section, which, it's a little bit basic, but it's detailed well enough. We have all the lines dug in there, recessed into the sides of the engine. Looking good. The top's done nicely. Not bad at all. For the interiors, they're not recessed in or anything. Now, you may be noticing these paint chips. That's because this is one of my original models, so it's seen some action over the years. For the aft, some beautiful detail in here. Looks to be some modules and pipes. Pretty cool. I think that came out great. Fantastic stuff. I love when there's little details like that. Really cool. Speaking of little details, in the front here we have some molding as well. Very nice. Just a great piece. I think they really did a decent job molding this. Pretty sick. For the docking rings, you see some nice molding. Not super detailed, but it gets the job done. The sides here are flat for the most part. Another docking ring. Coming to the front. We have the section for our headlights and missiles. Looking pretty nice. I think that came out great. Beautiful stuff. Now for the top of the ship, we have our auxiliary craft, which should be the Phantom. I think it's docked backwards, but what are you going to do? We have our engines, main entryway, no turret on the top, and the cockpit, I guess, would be right about here. I don't know. But still, at least they got the design in here, so that's pretty nice. Coming down the main dorsal spine, I guess we could call it. Some nice line work. Beautifully done. We have our dorsal turret. Looking good. Yes, they molded the barrels to the main body, but it's better than not having them at all. And I think it looks kind of cool. So, nice. We have some recessed line work coming down. Raised section. And then our cockpit and forward turret window. And they're not molded, they're just painted, but it's not bad. I think they did a decent job. For the rest of the body, some great line work here. Fantastic. I love this stuff. It's the same as the bottom. Detail-wise, it's just a home run to me anyway. On the sides here, over the docking ring, we have some great detailing. And I love how it sort of curves up, sort of like steps. Just a fantastic job. Again, more line work. All this paneling. On the side here, we do have some modules. Just fantastic. I really like this ship. On this side, same thing. Lots of line work, some paneling. Beautiful. We have that nice section coming down to the docking ring. Looking good with those raised rectangles. And then in this corner, we have some more line work again. And I love how the engines sort of protrude out from the main body and extend to the aft. I like that very much. Really cool. And that just about does it for the mold. I really enjoy this, even though this video is a re-review. I hope I covered everything. The ship may seem basic in certain areas, but it really does have a lot to offer. So now, let's take a look at the paint. And now looking at that paint on the Hot Wheels Star Wars Ghost, this bad boy has 6 different colors on it. The first color is a nice light gray or off-white, whatever you would like to call it. You can see it's on there. Looking good, especially the bottom where there's no other paint whatsoever. But very nice. You can see the aft section done pretty well. And then again at the top. Very cool. Now on top of here we do have some orange. Looking nice. Yellow. And the auxiliary craft in the back, on the sides. Looking very nice. And little streaks right here and here. And then we also have green and blue. Very cool. I like that quite a bit. And then we have black for our turret window, our cockpit. Coming back here, our engines, which looks pretty good. Now this is my original model, so that's why it's all dinned up here and there. But I love it. Very nice. And that basically does it for the paint. So now that we went over the mold and the paint, let's put this baby back on a stand, compare it to some other vessels, and then we'll be done. And just like other Hot Wheels ships, it comes with a cool translucent stand, pegging into port like so. Hear that click. And just like that, everybody, you are good to go. And now for a quick size comparison with the Hot Wheels Star Wars Ghost, seen in the center. First, on the left-hand side, we have the Hot Wheels Star Wars Phantom. This is the auxiliary craft that is in the back of the Ghost right there. And these go very well together. You know what? I'm going to review this ship next. Nice stuff right there. I wish Hot Wheels would make a Phantom 2 so we would have a complete set. But it is what it is. And to conclude this comparison, on the right-hand side, we have the Mandalorian's Razor Crest. A beautiful ship in my opinion. Actually, they're all pretty good in their own way. And if you want to see reviews of any of these vessels, check the links in the description below. And that does it today for my review of the Hot Wheels Star Wars Ghost, released in 2016. For the mold, I like it. I think it's beautiful. Lots of line work, different angles on here, the little modules. Everything's there that should be. The only issue I have with it is probably the aft section with the auxiliary craft. I have many DK source books, and anytime this ship is shown as a concept art or image, the shuttle is docked with the laser cannons facing inward. However, in the show, you see it docked backwards with the laser cannons facing towards the engines. So, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something and I'll have to watch Rebels again. But I think that just looks a little weird. But regardless of that, I love this thing. It's awesome. For the paint, on the whole, I think it's a great job. I love the orange, blue, green, yellow. I think all that works well together. If I had to nitpick, you guys know what I'm going to say. I wish they would have used just a light dark wash to fill in the little panel lines here and there. It would have made a world of difference to really make this ship pop more than it does. And you can't forget, it does come with a nice translucent stand to help it blend in with the rest of the collection. So that's everything I have to say about the Ghost today. I hope you enjoyed the re-review. If you did, smash that like button. And if you'd like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch my content. I greatly appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye, everybody.